Welcome to our channel, your go-to place for everything BL, movies, series, history, and more. As you already know, Boys Love, or BL, has taken the world by storm with its heartfelt storytelling and beautiful portrayals of same-sex romance. But have you ever wondered, what was the very first BL movie ever made? Where did it all begin? Today, we're traveling back in time to uncover the origins of BL cinema, exploring the first ever BL film and its impact on the industry. Anders als de Andern, different from the others, is widely recognized as one of the earliest films to openly depict a same-sex relationship. Released in 1919 in Germany, it was groundbreaking at a time when homosexuality was still criminalized under Paragraph 175, a law that made same-sex relations illegal. The film was directed by Richard Oswald, a filmmaker known for tackling controversial social issues, and co-written by Dr. Magnus Hirschfeld, a pioneering LGBTQ+ rights activist and sexologist. This was not just a film, it was an act of defiance against oppressive laws. It was made during the short-lived period of the Weimar Republic, a time when Germany saw a wave of progressive cultural movements. However, this openness was short-lived as the rise of the Nazi regime in the 1930s led to the suppression of LGBTQ+ rights and the destruction of many early queer works, including this film. The film follows Paul Kerner, a talented violinist who falls in love with one of his male students. Their love is tender but dangerous due to the societal norms of the time. Paul is blackmailed by a man who discovers his secret and threatens to expose him unless he pays a hefty sum. Struggling with the torment of being outed, Paul seeks the help of Dr. Magnus Hirschfeld, who plays himself in the film. The doctor explains that homosexuality is natural and that many great figures in history were also queer. Despite this, Paul is unable to escape societal condemnation. He loses his career, is abandoned by those around him, and eventually takes his own life, showcasing the devastating effects of homophobia. The film ends with a powerful message. It calls for the abolition of Paragraph 175 and urges society to treat LGBTQ+ individuals with dignity and respect. Why was this film so important? First openly LGBTQ+ film, it was one of the first movies in history to explicitly center on a same-sex romance, rather than using subtext or coded language. Advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights, instead of portraying queer love as sinful or comedic, as was common in early media, the film took a serious humanizing approach, advocating for legal and social change. Censorship and the tragic fate of the film. Shortly after its release, Anders als de Andern was banned and most copies were destroyed. When the Nazis came to power in the 1930s, they intensified the persecution of LGBTQ+ individuals and burned many of Hirschfeld's writings and films, including this one. Only fragments of Anders als de Andern have survived. Some parts of the film were preserved in archives and later reconstructed using footage found in various collections. Today, scholars and LGBTQ+ activists recognize it as a monumental piece of queer film history. Dr. Magnus Hirschfeld's involvement. Having an actual LGBTQ+ rights activist involved made it more than just a movie. It was part of a larger fight for equality, a bold message in a repressive time. Unlike many early films, which had to hint at queer themes in subtle ways, this film was explicit in its support for decriminalization and acceptance. This wasn't just a film, it was a protest. It was a cry for justice, a historical artifact, and a bold declaration that love is love, no matter the era. The fact that it was nearly lost to history makes it even more important to remember and celebrate. If this movie had survived in full, how might LGBTQ cinema have evolved differently? What if it had inspired more early filmmakers to tell queer stories? Although Anders Als de Andern was nearly erased, it laid the foundation for future LGBTQ+ films. It showed that same-sex love deserved to be depicted on screen, paving the way for the rise of art house LGBTQ+ films in the 20th century. The new queer cinema movement of the 1990s, the BL, boys love genre, which has now become a global phenomenon. Even today, in the world of Thai BL dramas, Japanese BL anime, and queer representation in Western films, the echoes of Anders Als de Andern can still be felt. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into BL history.